It started on a cold night when my wife left the bedroom already dressed in clothes that looked far too glam for that hour. I asked where she was headed, and instead of answering, she snapped, "Where I'd go is none of your business." The tone was cutting, dismissive, and it hit harder than I expected. After years of marriage, I suddenly felt like a stranger in my own house. Her words kept ringing in my head long after the door slammed behind her. I told myself she was just upset, blowing off steam with friends, but doubt burrowed in deeper. I couldn't sleep. I paced the living room and watched the clock crawl. Midnight passed, then 1, and still she hadn't come home. At 3 in the morning, my phone screamed to life. My hand shook as I answered. A man's voice, frantic and rushed, told me to hurry. My wife had been drinking and something had gone wrong. The words blurred, but the message was clear. She was in trouble. I grabbed my keys and drove into the night. When I arrived, my worst fears were confirmed. She was in a hotel parking lot, surrounded by strangers. She was confused. The man who'd phoned me slipped away as soon as I pulled up, from the way they looked at us. It wasn't hard to piece together what had happened. The sting of betrayal cut deeper than anything I'd felt before. I didn't make a scene. Instead, I helped her into the car, drove her home, and laid her in bed. Half drunk, she mumbled excuses, barely coherent. I didn't argue or yell. In that moment, I decided her betrayal would have consequences. I would give her revenge she wouldn't see coming. The next morning, she acted like nothing had happened, brushing her hair in the mirror, sipping coffee as if it were an ordinary day. When I asked about the night before, she dismissed me with the same cold arrogance. "It's none of your business." That was the confirmation I needed. Over the following weeks, I played the devoted husband. Smiles, work, normal routine. But behind that facade, I collected everything I could. Phone logs, text threads, photos. Her own carelessness applied to evidence. Each lie she told piled up until the truth couldn't be denied. I also met with a lawyer. Quietly, meticulously, I prepared divorce papers and arranged everything to be in my favor. The house, the savings, even a car that was technically under my name. I stayed patient because I wanted the outcome to be absolute. One Friday, she said she was going out again. I nodded, wished her fun, and waited. By the time she stumbled back later, heels clacking and perfume not her own on her coat, I was sitting at the dining table with a neat folder of papers in front of me. She froze. I slid the folder across the table. "It's your business now," I said flatly. Her color left her face when she saw what was inside. Every detail of her affairs, the plans I'd made, and the divorce documents waiting for her signature. She tried to cry, beg, manipulate her way out, but I didn't flinch. For every excuse she offered, I had proof. For every tear she shed, I remembered the night she spat. "It's none of your business." Now it was mine to decide. The weeks that followed were chaos for her. She lost the house, most of her savings, and the carefully constructed image she'd relied on. People she thought would stand by her disappeared when the truth surfaced. She went from arrogance to desperation, and I had already moved on. I don't say I'm proud of the hurt she felt, but I can't deny the hard satisfaction of turning her own lies against her. The revenge wasn't just about ending the marriage. It was about getting back my self-respect. She thought she could step over me without consequence. She was wrong. When I look back now, I don't see myself as cruel. I see someone who learned that silence can be louder than shouting and patience can be sharper than fury. She once told me my questions weren't my business. In the end, I made sure everything became exactly that. My business, my choice, my revenge. And when I finally closed that chapter, I did it with a steady heart, knowing justice had been served in the quietest, most devastating way possible.